Hi, everyone. For years now, I've shared how I use Wacom tablets in my teaching and with my students. My go-to device since its release about 5 years ago has been the Wacom One display style tablet. I just got my hands on the new Wacom One 14, and I'm really excited to share a little bit about that with you today. One major difference you'll notice between my original Wacom One and the newer devices and models out there is both the form factor and the plugs. We have gone from a multi-plug setup to, with the newer Wacom One tablets, needing only a single USB-C connection, which is a major difference. I will show you the evolution of these tablets at the end of the video, but first, let's take a look at this new Wacom One 14, which, as the name implies, is a 14-inch display. You'll see how incredibly slim this thing is. It has that single USB-C connection, as I was saying, and that's really it. It's slim, it's light, it's wonderfully portable. As with every Wacom tablet I've ever tried, the writing experience is a dream. It's fluid without being too glossy, and it's just the most natural feeling pen on tablet experience I've used. This particular device is compatible with Macs, PCs, and with Chromebooks, and it's truly plug and play. So the way that the Wacom One works is that it mirrors your computer screen. So anything you see on your computer is exactly what you'll see on your tablet. You can also set the Wacom up as a second screen, like an external monitor, but I won't get into that in this video. This setup means that you can use all the software you currently use on your computer, but with the pen precision of the Wacom One. So you have the pen that goes with it. These pens, by the way, never need to be charged. There's no battery involved. They just always work. You can change out the nibs for different feels. I've talked about that in previous videos, but I'm going to keep this one simple and talk a little bit through some of the apps that I like to use as a teacher. And then, as I said before, the evolution of these tablets. So as a teacher, I love using apps like Cami, which has built-in drawing tools that make it easy to mark up student work. Cami also offers a built-in recording feature, so I can create short video tutorials directly within assignments or while grading. Another thing I love about using Cami is that these videos can be reused across different Cami assignments. In the classroom, I often use Canva's whiteboard to project my real-time writing. This allows students to follow along as I write, and afterward, I can share a digital version of the whiteboard with the class. Students can save it as notes, or I can even use it as a guide when filling in students who were absent from class that day. Another great whiteboarding option is Lucidspark, which is a robust collaborative whiteboard with built-in facilitator controls that help teachers guide student participation. And this is my #1 favorite whiteboarding app that I use. Now, next up, I do want to show you the evolution of these tablets, as I was saying. Here's my original Wacom One tablet. As you can see, there were a lot of cords to deal with. We had to power directly into a wall, and there were also two more, so I needed another dongle to put into my Mac in order to make it work. And then here is my 113 with touch. So here I just have a single USB-C, which is so nice. And then here I can toggle on and off touch. So I do have that multi-touch. It was the first in the Wacom One line that came with that capability. And now we have the Wacom One 14, which is really sleek, really nice. You'll see another single USB-C, but now it's on the side. We have a power, and then the other button is for the menu that you can bring up there. You can see how slim the bezels are on this one. If I put it on top of the 13, even though it's a 14-inch instead of a 13-inch, it's almost exactly the same size. You can see the bezel has gotten smaller around the edges, and it's also really lightweight. It's gotten even lighter. Now let's look at the stands. So this is the stand that came with the 113 Touch and also with the Wacom One 12. And it was a really clever design, really easy to put in your bag. I really liked it, still use it. And then here's a more accordion style stand. And I really like this one. You can see that the legs just come out so that I can prop it up. And this is actually exactly the type of stand I was looking for when I originally got my Wacom One back in the day. So I'm really happy to have it. It's going to be my go-to, I know. Now, I know I'm going to get some questions about how this device compares to the Wacom MovinkPad 11, which I very recently reviewed this one on my channel. So this one's an Android-based tablet. As you'll see here, it's honestly what I reach for most these days unless I need to record a video. The wireless nature of the MovinkPad 11 is absolutely incredible, but it runs as a standalone device, meaning I can't mirror my computer screen the way I do with the Wacom One. That said, Wacom has been working on a new piece of technology with the more advanced MovinkPad 14 that's called Instant Pen Display Mode. I haven't had the opportunity to test this device or features yet, but if I do, I'll be sure to report back because that would truly be my dream device. It will come in at a higher price point than the Wacom One 14 though, which is why I still think the Wacom One 14 is the most practical choice for most teachers. If you have budget flexibility, keep an eye on the MovinkPad 11 to see if that instant pen display mode becomes available for that device as well. I know I'll be watching closely, but I'm really excited about the Wacom One 14 given its price point for this type of technology from Wacom. Also, you have to keep in mind that these devices truly are so durable and last such a long time. So they're incredible investments, and I really think they're a game changer for the classroom. And with that, I hope you found this video helpful. Feel free to leave questions in the comments or reach out to me directly. Bye for now.